In this book, let's talk about what's in the book. You reveal that you recorded your meeting with Republican leader Kevin McCarthy. What did he say? Because you write that you left feeling, you said, disillusioned and depressed, as disillusioned and depressed as ever.
Well, I think it was more what he did not say. He didn't really say a whole lot of anything. There wasn't a lot of substance to the conversation outside of the fact that, I asked for some specific things, and one of them being that, he would denounce members of the party that were talking about or downplaying or denying the reality of January 6th, the reality of Donald Trump's involvement in January 6th. And he wouldn't agree to do so. And even more so, he said that he couldn't control these fringe members of his party, which I thought was pretty shocking coming from somebody who, calls himself Leader McCarthy, being the leader of the House GOP. Mm-hmm. But also just the indifference. The fact that I sat there in a room, having been a victim of the violence that day, sitting next to the mother of a dead police officer, that being Brian Sicknick, and seeing a person who chose his political future and what he thought would be best for his party, rather than to show some level of compassion or empathy for the people that were sitting in front of him. To him, we were an inconvenience.
You also recorded, and I want to say it's legal for you to record in DC. You also recorded meetings with the National Fraternal Order of Police president and other local police officers. Why did you want to get these conversations on tape? Well,
like you said, it is legal in DC. We have one party consent, and I was the party that consented. That being said, I knew that the things that I was asking for in these conversations, most likely I would be given a very different response privately than they might say publicly. And so I wanted to make sure that the record reflected the conversations that they had, and that they could be held accountable if they decided to say something different in public. Which all of them have.
That happens a lot, especially since I've been covering Trump over these years. People will come on and they will say one thing in the green room or off camera about Trump, and then when the lights go on, they become a completely different person. They become sycophants, and I've watched it happen over and over the past 7 years. You also write about a meeting with Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. You write in part, at one point, as I was describing the assault in the tunnel, noting that we were vastly outnumbered, Graham interrupted. "You guys should have shot them all in the head," Graham said. "We gave you guys guns and you should have used them." I don't understand why that didn't happen. Why? How did you respond to that?
I told him that I appreciated his enthusiasm, but unfortunately, as law enforcement officers, we have very strict guidelines that dictate how we can use force, when we can use force. And in the situations, it would not have been appropriate just to open fire on a group of Americans, some of whom were committing crimes. Some of those crimes may have risen to the level of using deadly force to protect life or protect the officers, but many would not. And shooting into a crowd like that, you would have had individuals who would have most likely been killed or injured that did not deserve to be.
Were you surprised, because you write in the book, you said that Graham snapped at the mother of fallen Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick, who suffered 2 strokes hours after defending the Capitol?
Yeah, that was pretty shocking. I've never, first of all, the fact that you would yell at a woman who had suffered so much loss. Her son died as a result of defending the Capitol on January 6th. And all she was saying in the meeting was that she felt like Donald Trump was responsible. I had never witnessed somebody so vehemently defend Donald Trump in public or in front of me. And I thought that behavior from a senator was disturbing. And again, it goes back to the indifference that these people showed, myself and other officers that day, And you know, I didn't talk about it much in the book, but I'd be lost to not to mention Mitch McConnell. While myself and Harry Dunn and Mrs. Sicknick were going from office to office, meeting with all these senators that could barely spare 5 minutes to meet with us, Mitch McConnell couldn't meet with us. He was too busy. He offered to send a junior staffer to meet with the mother of a fallen police officer. And then he made phone calls to all of these senators asking for favors that they vote against the January 6th committee, or I'm sorry, bipartisan commission. I mean,
Yeah. It's hard to even fathom